finally doing it. Hello, my name's Matt and I love Wetherspoons. So much so, I've been to around 250 so far. I've been all around the UK. I think I've been to all the way from Exeter up to when they had one in Wick in Scotland, and I love it. Cheap pints, old architecture, real ales. What's not to love? I also love the fact that going around these different Wetherspoons, it takes me to places which I would never usually go. So I get to see all of the UK at the same time. See the history, see the towns, see the cities. And during these 250 plus spoons that I've done so far, I've always had a niggling thought in the back of my mind. I wish I'd recorded it, or at least had some evidence that I'd done them. Yeah, I've got a list on my phone and on the Wetherspoons app, but it's not the same. The places I've seen, the things I've seen, and I just never recorded any of it. So that changes today. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and I'm finally going to do it. Starting today, this is going to be a retick, because it's my local one. Obviously, I've been to my local one. I'm going to go to every Wetherspoons there is to offer. I'm going to go all around the country. I'm going to see all the different places there is to see. I'm going to have a bloody good time doing it. So without further ado, let's get off and get over to the first spoons. So a little bit about me. My name's Matt. Like I've said before, I love Wetherspoons. I've been doing this journey pretty much since I could drink, which is getting a long time ago now. Squeaky brakes. I started off the journey just doing my local ones, where I was originally from, Bradford. Big up the Bantams. And I go places like, obviously Leeds on nights out. There'd be around little towns and villages in the local area like Yeadon, Shipley, used to be one there. And then, when I was around 20, I started ground hopping. So for those of you that don't know, ground hopping is going to watch football in as many different stadiums and pitches as you can. So as you can imagine, that took me around the UK. It took me around a lot of the UK. And that went hand in hand with going to Wetherspoons. So whenever we went to a new football ground, the first thing I'd do is always look to see if there was a Wetherspoons. And that's how the list started building up. Hit my first 50 spoons, 100, and it went on and on. And I think now, I'm roughly at about 275 spoons, which is about a quarter. A bit more, a bit less than a quarter. A bit more than a quarter. I think it's around 900 altogether. And yeah, as I was saying, every time I ticked a new spoons off, it would always be playing on my mind, why haven't I recorded this? I mean, yeah, it's on Untapped, a lot of them, when I've checked a beer in, but there's no proof. Not only do I actually want to tick the spoons off again and record doing it, I want to go a bit more in depth on the history around the spoons. A lot of them are named after famous people from the area, or maybe the old building, what the building used to be before it became a Wetherspoons, and it gives you a little slice of what the place used to be like. So I want to do a bit more deep diving into that. I want to have a look around the local area, see if I can find a few interesting things along the way, and I want to have some pints. So my local Wetherspoons is named after a famous industry the town used to have in the 1700s. It's not known for it anymore, but supposedly in the 1700s it was known to be the best town for producing this plant. It was brought to the town by the monks who lived in the local priory. We'll go have a look at that as well. So the plant was used for two reasons. It was used as a natural sweetener, and it was also used for its medicinal properties, helping with stomach aches. It's now known more famously for its all sorts. So I've just made it into the town centre now. In fact, I've just drove past the Wetherspoons, but we're not going there just yet. Thought maybe first we'd go to the priory. You see the building where the monks cultivated the plant, which gave the Wetherspoons here its name. Right, I've parked up. Coats come on, raining. Spring in the UK for you. So I'm just in a little park. The priory is actually behind me over there. It's a nice little park, the town centre. It's got the River Ryton running right through it, and also just over there is the Chesterfield Canal, but that's not where we are. In fact, we're not even in Derbyshire. We're in North Nottinghamshire. Lived here now for around a year. Came down for work, sacked working, still here. For anyone that hasn't guessed it yet, I'm in Worksop. Good little place, I like it. So let's head over to Worksop Priory. Little bit of info here on the priory. It's like it was originally founded in 1120, which would make it 906 years old. I think looking at it, a lot of that's changed since then. It's had a lot of renovations in that time. I believe it's still used as a church today. That's based on the fact that there was cars in the car park, and there was also a big sign outside that said church open. Nice place to go for your Sunday service. So it was there that the monks cultivated the licorice, which gave the Wetherspoons its name, the Licorice Gardens. It's only a couple of minutes walk down here. Obviously, because it's my local one, I've been many times before. But for the purpose of this series and for the channel, I'm going to retick all of the 270 odd that I've done before. So finally, I'll have everything on record and proof that I've been to all the spoons. It's going to be a long journey, but enjoyable. So the beauty of doing a challenge like this is you get to see parts of the country which you'd never go to otherwise. I've been all around the country. Obviously I've been for other reasons like ground hopping and stuff, but while I'm there, you go to the Wetherspoons and you just see random places. It's great. Time I finish this challenge, not only can I finally say I've done it, I've been to all the Wetherspoons, I'll also have learnt a lot more about all the different places, a bit of history maybe, some interesting facts on the buildings, which quite often they would have been destroyed, but then Wetherspoons buys them, refurbishes them and rebuilds them into something new for the community. And yeah, I do get there is many people that don't like Wetherspoons for taking business away from smaller pubs in the local areas, but I believe, and I strongly believe, there are more pros than cons to Wetherspoons. The amount of old buildings that have been saved and refurbished, the history that's been saved, and they always make sure that a bit of that history is still in the pub, whether it's the name, whether there's some artefacts inside. Not only that as well, they do support the local breweries in the area. They're a big advocate for real ale, and pretty much every Wetherspoons you go into, there'll be at least one real ale from a micro brewery in the local area. So they do support local business. I've just come across an absolute squadron of ducks. It's nice weather for them, but not for me. So I'm going to Spoons. You can always tell you're near when you can see the hanging baskets. Let's get inside, out of the rain. Let's see what it's like. I say that like I've not been in 20 towns before. Well, here we go. The first pint of many. It's absolutely rammed in here. It's like 11 AM on a Wednesday. I've never seen it so busy. Anyway, pint of the Farmer's Brown Cow from Bradfield Brewery, micro brewery in Sheffield, I believe. Cheers. I do love a brown ale. Okay, so I'm going to do a voiceover now for the bits in the pub. You could tell from that last video it was rammed. I could not hear myself thinking in there. But overall, it's a pretty good pub, to be fair. Few interesting little bits of history in there. Worksop is famous for three people in particular. Basil Boothroyd, who was a BBC producer and writer. Graham Taylor, who was ex-Lincoln and Grimsby football player, and he also went on to manage the England national team. And Donald Pleasance, who was in The Great Escape and the Halloween film series. And all three of those had a little picture and a description alongside it, hung up on the wall inside. Here's your little shot of the carpet for any of you Wetherspoons carpet aficionados out there. I'm sure there's a few. So yeah, overall I wouldn't say it's one of the best ones I've been to, but it's definitely not one of the worst ones either. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Worth a visit. And there we have it. First pub done. Just another 900 to go. This is going to be a good challenge. It's good spoons, that, to be fair. I couldn't really film loads in there because it was absolutely rammed. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to be filming over people while they try to have the nice little morning pint. But I got some pictures, and I'll find some more from online, and I'll overlay it with a bit of voiceover. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next bar.